There was a time when breaking into professional wrestling wasn't easy. There was no schools, no sign-up sheets. If you wanted in, you had to chance it. You'd show up early, bother a promoter, and just maybe you would get 5 minutes in the ring before a show. If you were lucky, they would take you on as an apprentice. Back then, you weren't allowed near a ring unless you proved yourself in amateur wrestling. You had to be tough, legit tough, the kind of person who could handle themselves. If it went wrong in front of a live crowd, you hadn't just made a fool of yourself, you'd also made a fool of the business. In the golden days, the 1960s through to the 1980s, wrestlers would walk out with broken bones and return the next week to finish what they had started. Then, in the late 90s, everything changed. Training schools popped up across the UK, and at first, it was a good thing. Places like Hammerlock Wrestling were the breeding ground for talent. Wrestlers like Doug Williams, Finn Balor, and many more walked through the doors. But before long, it got out of hand. Every promotion opened its own school. Not to train the next generation, but to create free labour. Trainees would pay their fees, show up week after week, and never graduate. Years would go by and they'd still be students, working shows without pay, forbidden to take outside bookings that clashed with their home promotion. The dream of becoming a professional wrestler has been replaced by the reality of becoming a permanent trainee. Getting caught up in a world like this is very disappointing to see, especially having experienced this over the last 25 years myself. It's almost like going to all of that hard effort to do everything that you need to do to accomplish your dreams, to then have a finger pointed at you when you get a major opportunity, and to then be placed in what is a wrestling training school prison cell. There could be hope for the future. Things could start to get a lot better, as many training schools now moving forward are starting to produce what is professional wrestlers. The days of being a trainee could be over. You should only be a trainee for 6 months to a year tops. Then you go on to become a professional wrestler, which means you get paid and you choose your bookings unless anyone has you under a salaried contract. Trainee should be replaced once again with the term rookie. Rookies were only rookies for a short amount of time, as where in the wrestling world that we have just experienced, a trainee seemed to be a trainee for life. The reality of it is, after 2-3 years, if you are still a trainee, you have to question yourself, is this for me? Professional wrestling is called professional wrestling for a reason. And if you cannot become a professional wrestler and you are still a trainee after 2-3 years, you have to say to yourself, there is plenty of jobs available in Tesco's. There is plenty of jobs available at the post office. Or perhaps you could become a referee, a second, or just a volunteer who helps out at the wrestling shows. If you have major talent and you're the best rookie wrestler, trainee, whatever you want to call it, at your wrestling school, and all the other promoters are volunteering to give you money to wrestle on their shows, other promoters are, and you're getting offered this abroad, and your wrestling coach from your wrestling school is telling you not to go, to stay and work his show, which could be in a small social club or a substandard venue, then you should look at that as being a serious red flag and look at it as if you are having advantage taken out of you. You are worth more than that. You are a professional wrestler, you are an asset to a show, and you deserve to be paid for that show, and you deserve to go forth and make a name for yourself. It's time to train with purpose. There is plenty of fantastic wrestling training schools around the country. Joel Redman in Salisbury runs All Star Wrestling South, a fantastic wrestling training school that is producing talent, some of which are close to getting signed for WWE NXT. Marty Jones from Oldham also runs a fabulous wrestling training school, and there are many other training schools around the country. With this happening now, let's hope that the future generation will move forward with pride and will not be doomed like wrestlers from the previous generations that have been held back in a slavery trainee system that only benefits the promoter's pocket. The purpose of a wrestler going to a wrestling school is to become a touring professional wrestler.